Okay, so I had never thought I'd make a video like this. I think it's an interesting thing that people don't understand, a concept that I thought was simple. And so I kind of want to talk about it. And that's is it evil to do evil onto evil people or even creatures? So let me, a little backstory here. I've been watching this RP here for a while. And yeah, I called it episode 1 that Rags and V are diametrically opposed to each other. They're extraordinarily different playstyles, and this was bound to happen, especially when you guys decided that like Rags was going to be a paladin. That when all of you are always evil all the time. Okay. Anyways, you know what? Side note, speaking of that, there's a lot of complaining at Rags, mostly from V, about him blocking the group from things. He is playing a lawfully good character. I think it's kind of rude to try to force him to do things that he is actually completely incapable of doing, and then going, "Why didn't you do the thing that is completely incapable of being done?" Because he can't. That's an unreasonable stance. You know what kind of character he is. You know that you always play evil characters. Why didn't you tell him to not play a paladin? Okay. Anyways, moving on from that. So the more interesting question, is it morally evil to do evil to an evil creature? The answer is without a doubt, yes. I'll give you an example if you don't quite believe me or understand. So, in this case, the problem with this is that the paladin says he can't go around enslaving orcs who are chaotically evil creatures and selling them off for his own profit. He just can't do that, especially because it's going to result in a war with the kingdoms. Now, you don't understand why it's an evil act to enslave an orc. And in fact, multiple times during this, it was said that, "Oh, so you think it's better to kill than to enslave?" Yes. The answer's yes, without a doubt, yes. See, here, let's get in. There's a difference between killing someone in defense of yourself and others and enslaving someone for your own self-gratification. Those two things are extraordinarily different. So an example would be, there's a female orc. She's about to attack someone. You kill her in defense of that person. Did you do an evil thing? No? Okay. So there's an evil orc. She's about to attack someone. Instead of killing her, you subdue her, and then you force yourself upon her carnally. Did you do something evil? The answer is without a doubt, yes. That was pure evil. The first one, you did something good. The second one, you did something evil. But the act of killing someone could be considered evil. But it's only evil if you do it for your own self-gratification. This is not like a complicated subject. I thought this was basic ethics that people understood. The difference, like, this is literally, you can watch any Saturday morning cartoon and see this lesson given time and time and time again throughout the entirety of my childhood. And that is, the good guys do violence onto the bad guys, and no one questions that violence. But when the good guy does violence onto the bad guy because they desire it, because they for their own personal gain, for their own either whatever it is, suddenly there's a moral question and they go, "Why are you doing this? No, Spider-Man, you can't do that. No." There's always pushback when that happens because that is a morally bad thing to do. The difference is for personal gain. If you kill in defense of others or yourself, it's not evil. If you kill for personal gain, it is. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this. I just think it's interesting that 2 out of only 3 people out of 5 people, can that understand this concept that I thought was simple. I don't remember a period in my life. I'm sure there had to have been, obviously, but I don't remember a period in my life where I did not understand this concept, that you don't just get to just do whatever you want to someone because they're evil. It's the difference between crushing a spider because you're afraid it might bite you versus capturing a spider and pulling its legs off one at a time. One of these things is not like the others. I mean, why do you think it's illegal to make two chickens fight each other to the death, but it's not illegal to slaughter that chicken and eat it? It's because one of those things is morally wrong. Like that one's a little bit more difficult to answer right there. I can see some people maybe struggling with that because that is a bit more subtle. It's not as clear cut as enslaving someone so that you can sell them for gold. And you're like fine with that because they're evil. That's like clear cut bad. Whereas say chicken fighting so that you can gamble and have entertainment is ethically wrong versus and is animal cruelty versus say slaughtering a chicken so that you can eat it is not. And that's because you need to eat. You're killing that thing in defense of your life, technically, sort of. Yes, you could eat other things, but we're meat eaters. That's what humans eat meat. That's what we do. So we try to do it in as humane a way as possible. Whereas doing this thing because it's entertaining to you, well, then you're doing something that's not right. And before any like, so maybe there's a vegan out there who's going to watch this and be like, oh, hey, no, you could technically just never hurt an animal and just eat only vegetables and stuff like that. That's just not true. I don't know if you're aware of this, but far more sentient creatures are harmed, and I'm not even including insects, by the way. Far more sentient creatures are harmed during the growing and harvesting of vegetables than the raising of an equal amount of protein from livestock. Countless little birds and mammals of all various sorts and lizards and whatnot that die during the growing of crops. I don't know if you're aware of that. Have you never thought about that? When they harvest all that stuff, when they destroy all the land in order to grow your food, well, all those animals that died, and then when they put out the food to grow, and then a lot of animals move in there and are living in that little ecosystem there, and then the combine comes by and just takes all those things and grinds them all up. Yeah, maybe you never thought about that. Anyways, but still, it's about when you do harm, you do it because it's necessary. It's necessary to continue life. But when you do harm because it's necessary for you to have fun, that's an evil act. There's a hard line. Now, here's a small gray area, right? A gray area. What if you find joy in doing harm, but you only do it when it is a necessary act? Is that bad? I'll leave you with that question because that one is actually a difficult question to answer. That is one that someone could have a lengthy debate on. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I know this is a very different sort of video from me, and I'm probably never going to do something like this again because, I mean, I've seen a lot of things that I've disagreed about on the internet and things that even interested me, but I don't know, something about this just got me fired up. I can't understand how only 2 of those 5 people who seem to all have a morally decent compass, only 2 out of those 5 people don't understand the difference between seem to understand the concept that being violent for the sake of self-gratification is a bad thing. Yeah, I don't know. Have a nice one. We'll turn to our regularly scheduled content. Hope to see you guys later on today. My regular stream where I don't know, will we be going back to Skyrim? I don't even know what we're gonna play. I haven't decided yet. 8 o'clock in the morning right now. I guess if anybody just happens to be watching who's from that podcast or from that DnD stream, I just gotta say that my advice, if you choose to accept it, if you choose to care, is don't ever roleplay with a paladin again, or anyone who is lawfully aligned. I mean, that is good aligned, a good aligned character. You guys always turn evil. You always turn evil, and it's extraordinarily rude to try to force someone who has to play a certain way to try to force them to play a way that is not good. He didn't swear an oath to that lady because she was clearly an evil person, and he's lawful good, and he's not going to go about enslaving people for personal gain because he's not evil. And he can't be evil. He has to play a different character, or you guys have to not be evil. There's no in between. Like, all right, this is Xeric and I'm out.